Chapter on duty is Dr. Espenshade.
Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Whether you're broke or evergreen, your black, white face, your light descent, your Lebanese, your Orient. Whether like disabilities left you outcast for leader tease, rejoice and love yourself today, cause baby, you were born this way. It's in a violence, being transgender life. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to survive. No matter black, white, or beige, your light or Orient, baby, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to be brave.
And right now, fans, it is time to introduce our Hoffman Ford Team Escorts. We are welcoming the kids from High Point Church and Penn State Health who are out escorting our teams out tonight. Good job, kids, and our thanks, of course, to Hoffman Ford.
Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. All right, now, we're gonna do the basic step. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, left step. Left foot, left step. Cha-cha, real smooth. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, left step. Left foot, left step. Cha-cha now, y'all. Now it's time to get funky. To the right now. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. Cha-cha, real smooth.
Please welcome tonight's match officials to the field. Center referee Elvis Osmanovic, senior assistant referee Joe Zawistowski, second assistant referee Justin Lopez, and fourth official Melvin Holmes II. Our Hoffman Ford team escorts tonight, again, Penn State Health Urology and Cross Point Church. Tonight's starting lineup for North Carolina FC, coached by Colin Clark. Number 1, Alex Tambakis. Number 27, DJ Taylor. Number 13, Connor Tobin. Number 33, Aaron Guillen. Number 31, Steve Miller. Number 16, Graham Smith. Number 6, Austin Dalus. Number 10, Kyle Becker. Number 23, Zach Steinberger. Number 4, Victor Igbekovian. Number 14, Danielle Rios. And your starting lineup tonight for Penn FC, coached by Raul Voss. Number 1, Raul Peiser. Number 23, Marco Franco. Number 6, Kyle Venter. Number 4, Ken Tribbett.
A game that feels like a playoff elimination game as Penn FC, North Carolina FC, identical records on the season, do battle here at FNB Field in Harrisburg, here on ESPN+. And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and our thoughts and prayers to those of you who have been displaced or affected by Hurricane Florence, as we have soccer action to try to distract you here tonight. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. You take a look right there at the Eastern Conference standings, and that red line is where the playoff line is. And both these teams, Charlie, lie below it right now, but not too far. And a win tonight inches you ever closer within 3 points of the final playoff spot.
Huge matchup tonight, Brian, because of the standings. The team that wins here tonight moves into playoff contention. The team that doesn't has a tough road ahead. I mean, you are to the point in the season where you can say these are must-win games.
A couple of guys who are big-time scorers that we're going to have to keep an eye on tonight. The first one, number 14 for North Carolina FC, that is Daniel Rios. He's on loan from Guadalajara in the Mexican Premier League, and he is an absolute terror. Second leading goal scorer in the league right now with 16 goals.
And you can see why. I mean, that's a highlight reel situation, but he is a deadly striker up front.
Speaking of deadly striker, that's the guy that Penn FC has as well. Lucky Castana back in the fold. He's in the starting lineup after being on international duty a week ago. And number 77 for Penn FC is the guy who stirs the drink up top. A team leading 10 goals on the season, was red hot in the middle of the season. He's looking to pick up that form once again.
And even when he's not scoring goals, Brian, as you and I have observed through the season, he's making things happen. He's a catalyst for a lot of good things offensively. As they build their attack, he's always a big part of it.
It's a beautiful evening here in Harrisburg. One of these teams will probably have a step forward towards the playoffs and trying to make them. It's Penn FC, North Carolina FC. Starting lineups come up next here on ESPN+.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Crooked Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
And welcome back to FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux as we get set for action. The two teams have joined us on the pitch. And speaking of which, let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. We'll start with North Carolina FC. They bring back 10 out of 11 who played in their most recent game, a 3-3 draw with Nashville FC. The only change, that's Victor Igbekoye. He will replace T. Shipolani on the right wing. And for Penn FC, the team that won this past Wednesday against the Indy 11 stays pretty much intact, except in the back. Ken Tribbett back from yellow card accumulation. Pedro Gaval also comes to the starting lineup, and Lucky Kisana also re-enters the starting lineup for Penn FC. So 8 of 11 for them. These two teams look a lot different, Charlie, from when they first played this season. A 3-0 win for North Carolina FC. Just 4 players for Penn FC that are going to see starting time here were on the pitch that game.
Way back on April 28th, Penn FC was still really finding its footing at that point, Brian, juggling its lineup from match to match. Now they've got a set lineup and one that has performed very well. They're bringing these players back from international play. Look for a good night.
And that was Raul Voss, the first-year head coach, who has done a good job since that time of juggling this team around, figuring things out. The 34-year-old has this team playing its best soccer of the season right now. And over on the other sideline, the veteran coach Colin Clark, 7th year on the sideline for the then Carolina Railhawks, now North Carolina FC, replaced Martin Rennie, who was incidentally Indy 11's head coach on Wednesday here. Colin Clark, a former forward for Northern Ireland, played back in the 1986 World Cup, so he's got a lot of experience both on the pitch and on the bench. And we are underway here in Harrisburg as Penn FC and North Carolina FC. And a matchup of two teams. This is, you don't want to call it a playoff elimination game, Charlie, but it feels like one.
It has all the look and feel of one, Brian. It really does. I mean, these two teams are going to go at it hammer and tong tonight because they both realize what's at stake. I mean, the team that wins tonight takes a giant step forward. The team that doesn't has a tough road.
Penn FC in the home blues with the white trim. North Carolina FC, they're in the road whites with the gold lettering.
Easy to pick up here in the sun at the afternoon on City Island.
Maybe not quite as easy, but we'll do the best we can for you, folks. As Penn FC with the possession, had a great possession game this past week. They play it long for Kasana. Into the box it goes, and they're forced to clear it over the far sideline. Connor Tobin in his 5th year for this team.
Very nearly a corner there. He tried to clear it and got it on the touchline, but not far from the end line.
Usually I believe that was Steve Miller who cleared that instead, but it will be a throw-in for Penn FC, right side of the box. Penn FC had 68% of the possession on Wednesday night in their 1-0 win over the Indy 11. This ball chipped in the box, nobody home, but Paulo Jr. able to get it back. Ball sent back in wide of the box, so Alex Tambakis. That hopeful look was made by Dan Metzger. Metzger, the former DC United pick in 2015 and former USL champion back in 2016 with the New York Red Bulls too.
You like to see Penn FC bringing so many players forward early in the match, establishing that they're going to be very aggressive on offense, try to mount an attack early, and see what they can make happen.
Ken Tribbett, captain for Penn FC, tracks that ball down, sends it up the near sideline. Paulo Jr., probably the hottest player that Penn FC has right now up on this left flank. He 3 goals in his last 4 contests, including the game winner on Wednesday. Ball played back, Miller tries to pull it back and loses possession. A cheeky play from Paulo Jr. backfires. Penn FC wins the ball back with Metzger. Over to this near side, Gaval, a strong left foot, plays it forward. Brazilian Paulo Jr. with it. Ball ricocheting around. Kasana as an open man cannot bend it over, as all the way over on that right-hand side is Metzger. He leaves it off now. Marco Franco into the box with a left foot, a shot high and just over the reach of Tambakis, who got a piece of it, so it's a corner kick for Penn FC.
And that's what you want to see early, Brian. This is exactly what Coach Voss wanted. He's getting it out of his players. The first corner, these set pieces, very important, and Penn FC has done well off of these set pieces.
physical
Expect this game to see some fireworks. North Carolina FC 15 goals in their last 6 games, but Penn FC is the one on the front foot early. Ball sent to the near post. Nothing doing there. They'll head it all the way back, will the home team. Back over here on the near side. Metzger twists it back in towards the box and cleared out. Becker will drop it off, and a long ball played up. Rios is out there working for it. Franco heads it over to the far side. Comes a counterattack for North Carolina FC, switching the point of back attack to the near side. Igbekoye dispossessed, and Penn FC has it themselves. Aaron Dennis, he's back playing his 2nd game with the team since getting a cap with the U.S. Virgin Islands team in the international break last weekend. Good to have him back too, because he's a guy who has a rocket leg of a right foot and also was really coming into form.
Really was, and it's great to have these players who got an opportunity to perform on the international stage back here on City Island.
Menjivar can't control that one. Back the other way. A ball played, breaking through defenders, and we're going to have a foul called against Penn FC that I'm sure will upset Colin Clark, because Daniel Rios had a little bit of an opportunity to try to split defenders in the back, and they did not play the advantage on it.
Yeah, I thought they might have, and I didn't see the coach protest as much as we thought, but
maybe the whistle was heard quickly enough that that's why people had slowed down. So we've got a player limping after that one. But it will be a free kick opportunity coming up for North Carolina FC. They play it over to the near side. Miller is here. Tries to get around his man. Will toe it with the left foot, but headed right back out of danger by Tribbett. Be played for a throw-in for North Carolina. Last touch this time, they saved by Gaval. Throw-in coming up here in the 6th minute of play. Miller will take the throw. Looking inside, drops it back. Now Miller to the inside. Kyle Becker, the assist leader on this team, with the ball now. Dispossessed the ball for a moment. Penn FC has it. Becker rushes it down and knocks it out of play. Another guy to keep your eye on for this North Carolina FC team, Zach Steinberger on loan. He's number 23. Right there you see Kyle Becker. He's a player who was with the San Francisco Deltas a year ago, like several of these players from Penn FC. About 3 Penn FC players were with the Deltas a year ago as they won the NASL championship, and Becker was a teammate of theirs. But Steinberger, guy on loan from the Indy 11, and since coming over, 3 goals in 3 games since joining North Carolina FC.
It's pretty good production, Brian.
There's a guy with some pretty good production recently. Paulo Jr., great cut to the inside, but short side, and he misses it to the near side of the post.
Beautiful cut, but again, he's firing right away. I think that's what they want to do. A lot of times, Penn FC has taken that second pass, the additional pass inside the box, and it hasn't always worked out. I think firing it right away is what he wanted to do, and got a pretty good rip.
Tambakis, he's making his 28th appearance of the season. If you're counting, this is his 28th league game for North Carolina FC. He's been between the pipes for every single one of them. These two teams identical records right now of 9, 10, and 8. Difference between them in the standings is actually the goal differential. Right now, North Carolina FC a slight advantage there. Austin DeLuz will send it down the pitch. Cut off. Jaime is with it for Penn FC. Franco looking for Metzger. Benjavar able to get it to the near side. Jaime does to Gaval. Paulo Jr. Play a flat ball over the other side. An opportunity here for Aaron Dennis. Chips it into the box. Looking for Kasana. Ball chipped up. Tambakis is there. It was well done by Aaron Guillen in the back.
Very nicely delivered, and a good idea, just a hair off, but you see Penn FC putting the pressure on, playing the control game, possessing the ball for significant amounts of time, bringing the players forward, looking for space, doing all the things right.
Pressuring again, they win the ball. Dennis cannot run through everybody though. Ball play back, an opening. Metzger can't quite get there, but it's a miscommunication from North Carolina FC that allows the second corner kick of the game for Penn FC.
Penn FC is winning a lot of these midfield challenges, and you know the space between the upper and lower thirds, they're doing pretty well so far, and that portends good things for the rest of the match.
Usually Menjivar takes a lot of these, but I believe Metzger's actually the one stepping in, standing over this one. Drives this one near post, headed up and out by Igbekoya. But here is Penn FC maintaining the possession on the near side. Paulo Jr. with it, outside the box. Drops it off, chipped by Tribbett towards Kasana, unable to get there. Here comes Penn FC again with possession. All Penn FC early. Here comes a goal kick as Miguel Jaime's shot is a little too high. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Glad you could join us this evening. One of 2 games in the Eastern Conference, 4 overall in the USL. It was a busy day yesterday. Look at a few of those results. Ball played back. Tom Bakis had to do well to get that one and just clears it over the near side.
That would have been an interesting own goal. My gosh, that looked a little more dangerous than I think it really was. But
it's been a shaky opening 10 minutes for North Carolina FC here on the road. And you do have to wonder, this team down in the area where Hurricane Florence is wreaking havoc, and you wonder how much right now they're affected by that. Life goes on despite what's going on the soccer field, and sometimes that affects things. And here's a great opportunity, great dispossessing the ball, looking for Rios, splitting defenders to the right foot of Rios, shot, goal! And just like that, North Carolina FC, completely outplayed for the first 10 minutes, gets a counterattack, and they have the advantage.
Well played and not well defended, and a bad combination there for Penn FC. You had big numbers forward and really, you know, not much of an opportunity to defend. I mean, look at this.
And a great job there of winning the possession. The ball played through and finished off perfectly for North Carolina FC. And it all starts with the dispossessing in the midfield. Great job there, and Rios with his 17th goal of the season, now solo second place, 2 behind Cameron Lancaster of Louisville City, who had a goal last night in their 2-2 draw with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, maintain that goal-scoring lead. Now Penn FC has to regroup here a little bit.
Yeah, and after controlling the action for the first 10 or 11 minutes of this match, they get beaten on a play like that. Now they've got to really regroup and get things together, because we're still very, very early in this contest. A lot of time to go.
I believe the assist goes to Victor Igbekoya, making his first start of the season and paying dividends immediately for North Carolina FC.
Beautiful night here at City Island, and as we pray for our friends in North Carolina who are dealing with Hurricane Florence, we look out across the pitch and there still are some signs of wear from Wednesday night's contest here in a lot of rain, but other than that, a beautiful night. Fans enjoying the play here at FNB Field.
What happened the first time these two teams played was once North Carolina FC took the lead, they exploded immediately after. Here's a slow ball back. Kasana couldn't quite get enough of a jump on it. Offside is the whistle against Becker, who had come from an offside position. The first time they played, though, a 1-0 lead snowballed quickly with some shoddy backside defending on all 3 goals, really, for Penn FC in that game.
So you just want to make sure that that doesn't repeat itself, Brian, and it looks like they're really settling down, trying to control the ball again, which have done pretty effectively thus far.
Tom Bakis will bring it back in his own box and will pick it up. 13th minute of action. It's an 11th minute goal for Daniel Rios that has North Carolina FC on top in this matchup of teams who are searching for the playoffs. NFC, as we've stated before, an advantage with the schedule as far as the fact that they end the season right now in the midst of a 9-game home swing to end the season. This is the third out of those games, so they still have 6 more to go. This game is important for them, as it is important for North Carolina FC as well, a team who also looking to find their footing in the standings right now. 35 points. 9th place is 39 points, which is held by Nashville. And then the Ottawa Fury and New York Red Bulls 2 both stand at 41 in the 7th and 8th playoff spots. So both these teams come in 2 wins out of that final playoff spot tonight.
And a great opportunity for the winner of this match to move up dramatically. And barring a draw, it's a big, big game changer in terms of the standings, Brian.
They call them the 6-point games. When you play somebody who, if they beat you, they move up 3.
Yep.
And if you beat them, you move up 3. So it's a big change there. No foul called in the box. In fact, there is a foul, but it's called against Daniel Rios. And they'll send Penn FC back to the scene of the crime.
Little reset here, and off we go.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. NFC in the offensive third. There's Aaron Dennis with it. Drops it back. Marco Franco will send it into the box. Easy clear from Miller. It's Menjivar who plays a little pinball there. Venter will drop back to get it. This is the usual center back pairing for Penn FC tonight. Venter has started 19 games now with this one, and Tribbett 21. Become a pretty good pairing overall, and very good in the air, both of them are, as we have a handball in the middle of the field whistled against North Carolina FC. So the restart comes up for the home team. Very seldom, Charlie, do you see a referee stop play to force the team that's taking the restart to move the ball forward.
A point very well made, Brian. That was interesting.
Very seldom. That's what our center referee, Elvis Osmanovic, has done here. He's got assistant referees of Joe Zawistowski.
The little can of white paint not necessary there.
Yeah. Ball chipped in the box wide, and Tambaki saw it the entire way. Going to be a goal kick. Justin Lopez, the other assistant referee, with the 4th official, Melvin Holmes, the 2nd.
That's a very difficult ball to deliver, Brian, and you wonder why this stage of the match you're trying to do that. I mean, that's not going to work 9 times out of 10.
How about 99 out of 100?
99 out of 100 is closer to
yeah,
it. You've watched this game for a long time.
I would take 9 out of 10. 99 out of 100 is probably a little longer odds there, as Tambakis will take the goal kick. 6 clean sheets for him on the season. His counterpart, Ramu Pizer, 5 clean sheets and will not get one today. As an 11th minute goal from lightning in a bottle, Daniel Rios has put them on top. Good job keeping that ball in initially, and Val can't get it all the way up past midfield. Chance again. Here comes Becker. Loses that one. He drops it off. Becker gets it right back. Chipped away by Penn FC, and a throw-in comes up for North Carolina FC.
And Penn FC is clearly wanting to and successfully playing a possession game, but the one possession they lost in the midfield turned out to be a disaster. A quick strike by the North Carolina side, and they have a 1-0 lead.
Throwing coming up once again. Becker, Steinberger, Rios all over on this right-hand side somewhere. Extremely dangerous no matter who you look at. Rios turns, cannot get past the second guy, Venter, but a chance, chipped into the box and headed clear. Kept in play by Igbokwe. Inside, chipped up. No foul called on Menjivar, and that means it's a throw-in for Penn FC with the good pressure from the defensive mid of the hosts. Coming into this game, Penn FC approached this game winners of 3 of their last 4, winning on Wednesday against the Indy 11, a loss on Saturday a week ago to Atlanta United 2 in a game that really was disappointing considering where Atlanta United 2 is in the table.
On a lot of different levels, and again, that was a match where Atlanta struck very, very early. Penn FC fought back. Ultimately, the early goal was the differential.
And then before that, when they were on their road swing, had wins against teams that are fighting for playoff position, Ottawa and Bethlehem Steel. So a good run of form right now for Penn FC at the right time of the year.
And those are the matches you must win. And that's why tonight, I think we can really say is a must-win situation, because Penn FC's schedule picks up pretty dramatically from here on in, Brian. They've got 3 matches against premium teams or premier teams, and that looks a little bit tougher.
Next 3 teams in: Wednesday, Louisville City. Next Saturday, it'll be FC Cincinnati, and then the conclusion of the Keystone Derby with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And those teams are in some order 1, 2, 3 in the standings right now.
And the Riverhounds, you know, a dramatically improved side. They've given everybody fits this season.
Check that, I misspoke. Louisville City's actually 4th in the table, still a point behind the Charleston Battery.
But the Riverhounds sitting at number 2, and Cincinnati, of course, the dominant team this season.
We're struggling earlier. We'll get an update, maybe a final score on their game at the half. It's 2-2 when they were early in the second half before we came to air. Caval sends it long. Well done by Miller.
Very nice.
And here comes an opportunity for North Carolina FC, and instead of taking Graham Smith, blast it down the field instead with nobody home.
Nobody even close to being home.
We have an updated score on that one. It is 3-3 now. FC Cincinnati and Toronto FC 2. The first place team in the table, the last place team in the table in the Eastern Conference, and for the 2nd straight game, FC Cincinnati struggling with Toronto FC 2.
But their quick strikeability puts them right back in the match.
Here's a corner kick opportunity coming up for North Carolina FC. This will be their first corner kick of the game, and Kyle Becker will take this one, the Canadian national, with 10 assists to go along with 3 goals on the season, making his 24th start of the year. Be an in-swinger with his right foot. Sends it towards the box. It was headed, touched it initially, and then Venter got a piece of it on the backside and played it over the end line for another corner kick for North Carolina FC.
Now the corner comes from the near side, and Becker's going to take it again.
McCoy got a head to that one, but not directed on frame. This one will be an outswinger. So Becker takes pretty much all of the free kick opportunities for this team.
And there's no question about a short one on these.
We'll look once again. Running the box, looking in the middle. It's headed up, not completely cleared, and tracked down. Sent back into the mix. Chested up, headed, and Cassano will clear.
Those are dangerous kicks, Brian, off of those corners with Becker. He swings it very, very effectively. They've got big bodies in there to take the headers, and Penn FC did a good job of marking up and defending, because those are not easy situations. They've looked very good on the defense.
Marco Franco double teamed and fouled, so Penn FC will at least get to relieve a little bit of the pressure that was on them in that little 2-minute flurry with a free kick opportunity. We're in the 23rd minute of action here at FNB Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. It's 1-0 North Carolina FC on a Daniel Rios goal in the 11th minute, leading Penn FC. Amu Pizer, the veteran goalkeeper, 39 years young. Sends a long free kick up, and now here comes Penn FC trying to keep it in play. Dennis can't turn. The crowd rises up as they normally do when there's any sort of contact or someone falling in the box. No foul warranted there. Benjamin will play it back, and Penn FC again will try to go to the possession. Here's Miguel Jaime. He's got Paulo Jr. on rush and could not get a good touch to that ball and has to play it back.
Very spirited crowd down there right in front of that goal mouth, and they let the officials hear about it a lot, although, as you correctly point out, Brian, not much there that time.
Throw in for Penn FC. Marco Franco, the former draft pick of the Chicago Fire back in the 2014 Super Draft. 14th overall before playing a long portion of his career with the Indy 11 before coming this year to Penn FC. It's been a great addition to the squad at right back. Played forward. Now here's Aaron Dennis. Dispossesses the ball. Jaime goes down to get that one, and Penn FC out hustles and gets there first with Metzger.
They're winning a lot of these challenges, Brian, and they're possessing the ball pretty well, trying to slide it through some situations that aren't necessarily there. But I think if they spread the field just a little bit and come a little bit wider, those spaces are going to open up in the middle. And here you go, out all the way to the touchline.
Here comes Paulo Jr. Cuts to the inside, now crosses, a low cross is headed back out of danger. Menjivar will play it to the other side. Franco chips, looking in the box. Cassana tried to rise. It was one instead, but it was offside against the striker for Penn FC. Lucky Cassana, a Dartmouth grad, incidentally.
Academically challenged, Brian.
Yes. Yeah, just an Ivy Leaguer.
Yeah, just an Ivy League grad.
His second stint here in Harrisburg was with the Harrisburg City Islanders in the 2012 and 2013 seasons. 20 goals in his time on the island during that time.
And in addition to one of the best schools academically in the country, certainly one of the prettiest campuses. Hanover.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous up there. No foul called. Cassana turns, great
There's
little
a nice
flick.
ball.
Here comes Paulo Jr. on a full head of steam on the left side. Cuts to the inside, has a man over there. Aaron Dennis is there, tries to play it up in the air, and his volley was wanting. Not sure, I think he got caught in between that time.
I think he did, Brian. That's a shame because the ball was exceptionally well delivered, and you had a great ball out here along the touch line. Looked like they were really setting something up, but unfortunately his volley was wanting.
So it will be Tambakis, who's had enough of the possession here in the first half himself. Ball has been played in his end quite a bit. Ball played to the neutral third. Won by Miller.
He actually had a lot of space there, Brian. He might have wanted to just settle it.
Here comes Miller. Great look that time. Steinberg was making a nice run. He was cut off by Penn FC. All this near side. Jaime was looking to play, check that, Menjivar looking to play it over to Paulo Jr., but played it behind him, so the throwing comes up for the visiting team.
Yeah, he was looking for a square pass there, and it really had that nice angle coming up the touchline and a lot of space.
A good look there at Steve Miller, who's taking the throw-in his third year here with this club, after coming over here from the Tulsa Roughnecks back in 2015. Kaiser picks it up for Penn FC. 27th minute of action, still 1-0. North Carolina FC leading Penn FC. Winner of this game will take 10th place alone. I know that they separate them 10th, 11th, 12th by goal differential. Right now, Charlotte Independence also in that tie at 35 points. For me, right now, it basically is a three-way tie for 10th because they're all there.
And Penn FC and North Carolina, of course, with identical records. A couple of these squads have games in hand, but neither of these two. I mean, this is as evenly matched in the standings as you could possibly get.
Dennis trips over the ball. And now a chance for North Carolina FC if they hurry. Ball sent long up the sideline, and once again, that pass is off the mark. So despite the score right now, Charlie, the play has been better for Penn FC so far, and just that one breakdown has been enough. As you see Ken Tribbett, the captain of this Penn FC team.
Yeah, I mean, Penn FC has done what they wanted to do tonight, and they played the possession game very, very well. Of course, Brian, if you're going to play the possession game, you have to possess it. And there was that one breakdown. They had a takeaway, built numbers very, very quickly, and overcame the defense and got a pretty easy shot on goal.
Foul whistle against Austin Blues. He's got the captain's armband on tonight for North Carolina FC. Penn FC plays it forward. Dennis flicks towards Cassana, who Plays it back. Metzger. Dennis. All the way back to center back Venter. Up to the inside. Good moves there to maintain the possession for Penn FC. Here comes Tribbett. Gaval. Flick towards Paulo Jr., but right into the chest of Miller.
Couldn't get that one through.
And Rios, coming all the way back near midfield, has not gotten many touches in this game and wants to create something there. This is Graham Smith with it. Dropping it back. Tobin all the way into the box. Nobody home there. And it almost looks, Charlie, when North Carolina FC has the possession and they don't want to keep it very long, they're trying to really send it quickly up the field.
They are. It's almost chip and run, but it hasn't worked for them. I mean, they really have only gotten one shot. Unfortunately, it hit the back of the net.
And that was an opportunity where they were able to dispossess Menjivar at midfield and quickly turn it into a counterattack.
Yeah, that was a shame. I just, a quick takeaway and very, very fast counterattack, and the defenders weren't back. And, well, we know the rest of the story.
So the ball dropped back to Pizer. The Frenchman will continue to keep the possession for Penn FC. Venter plays it long. Paulo Jr., not the tallest, but somehow gets his head to more head balls than I would ever imagine somebody who's 5'6". Cannot maintain the possession. Becker just sends it long once again and allows Penn FC to control here in the 30th minute of play.
Despite the fact that he's 5'6", though, Brian, you watch the way he uses his body. He's almost like a basketball player posting up. He's got his back into the defender constantly, able to take it, drop it down, and make something happen.
Gaval, a very poor touch that time. And North Carolina FC with numbers. Rios drops it over. Becker crosses, and Gaval makes up for his error by going over there and getting it. Cannot get it all the way up the field, though. Miller keeps it in play. Crosses towards the middle. Tribbett down low to head it. They'll switch the point of attack to the far side. Ball played over. Into the corner. For Deleuze, cannot get there. Ball chipped up in the air by Steinberger. Out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Penn FC. Play Wheel of Fortune, the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery for your chance at top prizes of $100 grand. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Paulo Jr. can't keep possession of that one. Too high for him. Play it back here to the back. Some strong possession there, and finally North Carolina FC just blast the ball off the field to make sure they're not under any danger.
Into the 32nd minute here, Brian, and you really think that Coach Voss would like to see them get the equalizer before the half. The pressure just mounts once you get past halftime, and it'd be a very different game if they were able to put one in before they go into the locker room.
Coming up, it will be for Penn FC.
The official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest select products and special offers, please visit selectsportsamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50.
The possession will belong. You see Colin Clark over there on the North Carolina FC sideline with his hat. Paulo Jr. cutting down the left side of the box. Cut off by 3 players, but Kasana gets a piece of it, hand around his shoulder, nothing called there, and North Carolina FC is able to turn on it. Here comes Becker, long ball up. Rios is there, 1v2, great touch to the inside, but didn't know Tribbett was there, grabs a hold of him and throws him down, and the foul called against Rios.
Very nice cut there by Rios, and you see why he's so dangerous, Brian. I mean, his ability to control the ball and fire shots as a result is really unparalleled. He had a great cut back there, but committed the foul, and here we come the other way.
The ball played up to Jaime. Tribbett, now Gaval. Gaval in his 15th start of the year, dispossessed again. Great cut that time in front by Igbekoye, but Doesn't do anything with it. Tribbett trying to switch the point of attack. Metzger was over there, but couldn't quite run that one
Play
down.
fast and win instantly with fast play from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Gotten a little bit spotty with the accuracy of passes from both squads in one of the most recent minutes. And there's another example of a poor first touch as Venter gives it away. Throw in the middle of the field, and a great step by Tribbett. Grabbed the hold of. Rios not happy about the fact that he was dispossessed the ball, and I think Rios may be picking up a yellow card here, and if he's not, it's going to be his last warning.
He reached for the pocket and then said, I'll give you another one. Warning, that is.
I'm surprised because he had just gotten called for a previous foul.
Yeah, he literally stuck his hand to his pocket, if you saw that, but then he said, well, we'll have another conversation.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Rios that time reaching up, grabbing a hold of Tribbett, pulling him backwards and stopping any sort of progression. Possession right now, you see it. I mean, 63-37. But you got to do something with the possession. So far, Penn FC has not had that chance, and the foul on Dennis a little bit too strong over on that far side.
That's the key. You've got to do something with it. And Penn FC has had their opportunities, Brian, and the possession game has worked for them. It was just one single breakdown has hurt them very badly here in the first half. And as we've said, you look for them to really press the attack here in the final 10 minutes of this first half to see if they can't get the equalizer.
It was DJ Taylor who got fouled over on that left-hand side. So Tom Bakis will take this one. Was with the Charleston Battery the last couple years. Also played a single solitary game with the MLS's Atlanta United a year ago. We'll head it back to Ronald Pizer. Was a teammate of Kyle Becker, one of several on this Penn FC roster, on last year's NASL champion San Francisco Deltas. When that team folded, the players went scurrying. A lot of them here to the USL in various places, and you see so many of them not just joining teams, but playing major roles, starting for teams, major building blocks from that squad a year ago that won a title.
It was a great squad, and they had great players, and teams were fortunate to pick some of them up.
Foul called against Metzger of Penn FC. So the restart coming up for North Carolina FC here in the 36th minute. Sent forward. Rios can't turn. We've got a foul called. They're going to call Tribbett 20 yards out from goal, dead center with a pull.
Dangerous spot on the field and a little bit of a late call there, but this is going to be tough to defend, as they always are.
So the question
now set up the wall right at the edge of the box, I think.
Is it going to be Becker, or will it be Rios taking this one? You see him get to the inside. Tribbett falling down. Rios looking for the call and getting it. And now this is a very dangerous situation, not just as far as the goal, but game situation now also for Penn FC, who has controlled the action, finds themselves down 1-0, and now because of a free kick outside the box from about 22, 23 yards away now, they find themselves in danger of going down 2-0.
Yeah, spotted right at the top of the circle. I thought maybe it was a little bit further out, that they'd set the wall up a little bit further up, but they're tightly defending.
Lots and lots of players in the wall. Step over it, Rios takes it, and it's over the bar. Wasted opportunity.
Yeah, no real danger there.
Rios looking for his second goal of this game. It doesn't happen there. That poor effort in the 37th minute keeps this 1-0. You see the replay on this. Lots of players in there. Rios just, after the step over, never a chance.
Yeah, the step over didn't fool anybody either.
Everyone knew who was taking it.
Exactly.
It's amazing sometimes. You have guys step over the ball who, you know, they're not taking it. And Aaron Guillen was not taking that.
I didn't want to appear to be Captain Obvious, but I guess it really was.
Here comes Penn FC. Towards the box they go. Right side of the box is Metzger. Tries to turn, gets it down, drills one off of Dennis, who will keep it in play. Metzger looking for a pass to Franco, who had snuck into the box, cleared back up the midfield by North Carolina FC. Venter gets a piece of it and does not allow Rios to turn on the counter.
The delivery into the box, though, Brian, leaves a little bit to be desired because you're not going to fit anything through those spaces. You're going to have to create a lot more space to get those passes through, and they're not going.
Chip forward. Dennis once again, though, cannot find the handle on it. Here comes North Carolina FC into the offensive third. A little bit of room over on that left side. Cross all the way over, looking for Becker, but could not curl it enough.
Goal kick, Penn FC.
The goal kick for Penn FC.
Your Place Restaurant and Pub is served.
Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. 39th minute of action. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Brandon Moree at halftime. We'll talk with Penn FC head coach Raul Voss, ask his thoughts about this first half. So far it is the home team trailing this one. 8 out of 11 of these players played on Wednesday night. Their victory over the Indy 11. Gaval cannot get it to stop. And it will be a throw-in for North Carolina FC.
Gaval's had a tough time controlling the ball tonight, Brian. I don't know what that's all about, but he's really had some difficulty with some of those traps that don't appear to be that difficult.
Straight games for him out of the lineup. He returns tonight. This ball played long, all the way down the side. And Pizer is there, going to watch it roll all the way by.
He'll take the goal kick.
Trying to make sure that Steinberger wasn't going to get to that first. Quickly restarting. He's been such an important presence of this team, making his 23rd start. It's been pretty much all him recently. Sean Lewis is the backup keeper tonight, as he has been most of the season, and has also made 5 spot starts during the year as well. It's been mostly Ramu Pizer who has been in charge. Here's a giveaway for Penn FC. Becker, though, does the same. His touch betrays him there. But it will stay in the possession of North Carolina FC. Ebikoye drops it back. That's Wilito Fernandez, who will just blast it long.
Gotta wonder what the thought was there.
We've seen a lot of that, though.
We really have, and there's nothing to it. Nothing. I mean,
so Pizer will bring it up, touch it down, and play it out to the side. But so far, it's been enough because the lead is for the visiting team on an 11th minute goal by Daniel Rios. It is North Carolina FC in the lead on his 17th goal of the season. Timey. It's over to Venter. Back over here to Tribbett. To move the ball back and forth. See how things adjust. Aaron Dennis has moved over here now to the left-hand side. Gaval thinking about the cross. Creep in even further. Metzger, drop it back. Now everybody in the defensive half of the field of North Carolina FC except for Pizer. Long ball played up. Now over Gaval, gets the header. Sends it into the box. Kasana jumping for it. Tambakis gets there first. And will be a little slow to get up with a little bit of a contact from the Penn FC striker.
Nicely delivered, and M. Kasana right there and took a battle with the keeper. The keeper obviously able to use his hands, has a little bit of an advantage there.
Tambakis has, looking at his left shoulder, 6'3", 25 years old, the Greece native. You see this once again, into the box, looking for Kasana and just catches his side on that one. Long ball played up. Carolina FC trying to turn on it. There's Becker. Ebikoye. Now back to Fernandez. Ball played on the far side. Franco heads it out of danger. Making the turn now is Paulo Jr., who has switched over to that right-hand side. Started out on the left-hand flank, and Marco Franco can't keep that one in play. Throw-in coming up for North Carolina FC. We're a couple minutes away from stoppage time and the first half whistle. guessing about a minute or so of stoppage time in the first half. Ball played up near midfield.
Not too much, that's for sure.
Franco whiffs on the attempt. Carolina FC plays it into the middle. Tribbett plays it back out. Work by Kasana. They're looking to play Dennis long. Miller sees it coming. Dennis with some challenging play, and he forces the ball back, and Tambakis has to play it with his foot to make sure it was last touched by his team. May or may not have called that an intentional touch, so discretion the better part of Valen. Here comes an overlap. Wikoye crossing the box, shot, goal, but it will be disallowed. Rios was offside.
You saw that mounting, though. That was danger written all over it, and thank goodness you had the flag up.
The counterattack for North Carolina FC just misses, scoring a second one. Here comes Paulo Jr. He will fire, deflected, and it will be a corner kick. Last touch by one of the defenders in the back. Like it was off of Guillen last.
And a good counter there by Penn FC, coming forward very, very quickly and getting a situation where they're going to pick up yet another corner, and they've done well with these set pieces thus far.
Richard Menjivar, who is the assist leader for Penn FC with 5 of them on the season. He'll take this one. Outswinger off his right foot. Into the box it goes. Only pressure there is by North Carolina FC. Good run that time, and a professional foul made near midfield. They're going to play the advantage here. And down the field, Guillen dispossessed. Here's Gaval the other way.
Nice tackle.
All played up. Aaron Dennis is there.
With some space.
On the left side of the box, Dennis cuts to the inside. Off the side and cannot get anything going. It's a goal kick. And we'll see if our referee goes back to assess the foul from previous, and the answer is no. And I think it is a shock to some of the players from North Carolina FC. And to be perfectly honest with you, myself as well, that should have been a card.
They're squawking, that's for sure.
They're 100% correct. That was an attempt at a professional foul.
Yep.
To slow things down. And sometimes what happens is your center referee sees what happens, forgets who did it, and then doesn't want to give the card to the wrong person. I've talked to a few referees about that sort of situation, and the longer it goes, the more difficult it is to remember who was the one who committed the foul. Speaking of fouls, no foul there. Actually, that is the whistle, as we don't even have a minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half. We've played one half of soccer here in Harrisburg, and after one half, it is the visiting team. The North Carolina FC 1, Penn FC 0. Our only goal of the first half. A goal in the 11th minute of play by Daniel Rios, the second leading scorer in all of USL this season. His 17th goal of the season, assisted by Victor Ikpekoye, is given North Carolina FC the advantage. And Charlie, a half where Penn FC has to be, I think, a little pleased but a little frustrated. They played the game the way they wanted to, but find themselves behind.
I think you put it perfectly, Brian. They have to be pleased with the fact that their game plan worked. They executed it, not perfectly, but as well as you can imagine. Unfortunately, you have that one situation in the midfield with a quick takeaway, and one that frankly should not have happened. And the counterattack, quick strike, Rios, premier goal scorer, puts it between the pipes.
Well, our Brandon Morey is down right now with Penn FC head coach Raul Voss. Let's go down, Tim, for some halftime comments. Down to you, Brandon.
Thank you, gentlemen. Coach Voss, obviously another early goal that you didn't want to give up. But what did you think about the way that your team is performing?
We started off well, and then we had too many moments where we're not focused, where we're not concentrated enough, and had turnovers in crucial areas, and they're very good punishing us with those kind of turnovers. That's the main issue. Very many mistakes, so we're not really 100% focused.
What will be the message in the locker room at halftime?
To first of all try to avoid those kind of sloppy errors that needs to change, and then do a little more going forward. Play a little quicker. It takes us too long to play ball forward.
Sure. Thank you. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Brandon. It's halftime. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, our halftime show. Here it is, North Carolina FC 1, Penn FC 0. Back after this on ESPN+.
Crooked Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
And back in Harrisburg where we are at halftime. Penn FC trailing North Carolina FC 1-0 at the half. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux on your halftime show. Right now, I'd like to take a look at some of the Penn FC superlatives of the season.
I'll give myself that one. I think I'm pretty good.
I might have to say myself on that one. I'm gonna go me on that one.
Haven't really had any food from anyone on the team, so I'm gonna have to say me.
I do. I don't ever use it. There's nothing in there. Romo.
Alan.
Salih.
Oh, Fabio's giving up for sure.
Morrow. DJ Morrow. Morrow. That's Marco.
I'm gonna go Richie.
Calvin.
Alan. Kyle.
Ken. Kenny.
Kyle. Responsible.
Aaron Dennis. Not Alan. I'm gonna go with Pedro. Marco and Richie.
Richie and Marco.
A 3-way for me. It's gonna be Harry, Dan, and Aaron for sure.
Miguel. Isaac. Salih.
I'm gonna go Sal.
I only see posts from Richie and Sal, so I'm gonna go those two.
Me. Fabio. Salih.
Fabio.
Sean. Fabio. Who else was in that car? Those guys. Georgie. There's quite a few guys.
Me. Alan.
Yeah, we'll go Fabio on that one.
Aaron Dennis.
Pedro, for sure.
And you can tell those guys have really bonded quite well as a team this season in this Penn FC's club, and they trail right now at the half 1-0. One thing I didn't see on there, though, was best basketball player, but maybe we'll find that out for a different team, because right now we're going to take it back to our USL spot of an interview and also a little bit of game of horse here coming up with Forrest Lasso of FC Cincinnati.
See it here as maybe another potential chance for the Rangers. Long range shot, incredible save. Ball knocked over the top. What a touch! Guzman! Put a delivery. Header tipped over the bar. What a save. Zane. Oh! Sensational! Handball. Jay Bolt saved by Rangetsi. Lance Lang!
And it's saved by Crepeau.
Are you kidding me? Antoine Opino! Tina kick save by Spencer Richards. Tina, a left-footed shot. Oh, wonder goal from Jesse Daly.
Headed towards Vega. Did he hold it out? Somehow, Daniel Vega holds it out.
Dennis can hit from this range. Aaron Dennis.
How's it going, everyone? USL's Kelsey Steele here with FC Cincinnati defender Forrest Lasso. So we're well aware of what Forrest can do on the pitch. So today we're going to see what he's got on the court. We've got a game of horse going with a few questions in between. So Forrest, you want to get to it?
Let's do it.
Go.
Oh, let's go. Oh, pressure's on. Let's do it.
We got an H, people. So you're a rally guy. Favorite part about North Carolina?
Ooh, sweet tea and barbecue.
MJ or LeBron?
Oh, that's like the Pele Messi question.
There's only one right answer.
I mean, I'm definitely biased, so I'm MJ. We'll go with Bang this time.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, we got a letter.
Okay, sweet spot then on the court.
Top of the key.
Top
Why
of the key, okay.
Oh, yes.
Whose play would you mirror the most?
Little size difference with Dwayne Wade. He was the reason I started watching the NBA.
Get out of here. What, only 5'6", 5'7" at 16, and now you're pushing 6'7" at 25. What is that like for you?
So being the small guy, I was like the run of the litter growing up. I was always the smallest guy on every team, and then once it started to grow, I would like to say I was more technically sound when I was younger and smaller. And as I kind of grew, I kept the technical part of my game, and then I also realized that I had the physical side. When it comes to the game, it's definitely been a blessing. It's a special tool or trait that not everybody has, obviously.
Killing me.
Needed that.
Being pulled in from that Cincinnati community, what do they bring to you guys?
Oh man, I've been playing this game since, I don't know, 3 years old. Everybody likes the game, not everybody loves the game, and when you go to Cincinnati, you can tell that there's 40,000 people that love it.
You're roommates with Jimmy. Tell me you've got a good story or two living with him over these last few months.
We've probably seen it on a few goal celebrations, but he's got absolutely no rhythm. He's probably gonna hate that I told the world this, but he's, when it comes to dancing, this guy's pretty fun to watch.
Not short. Ah! Give it to the champ.
That was fun.
That'll do it for us today, Forrest. Thanks for coming along and bearing the heat with us. For now, that'll do it from Tampa.
And now let's take a look at our stats from the first half of this game. And the thing that jumps out at you right now, Charlie, and the only thing, is the possession stat. 63-37. Otherwise, what that shows, it's been a pretty even game, but in many ways, it really hasn't.
I agree with you, Brian. It has not really been a very close match. Penn FC has dominated most of the action. You see that not only in the possession, but the passing accuracy, dramatically different between these two sides. You had that one fatal mistake in the midfield that resulted in a quick strike by North Carolina and a goal.
Opportunistic has been the name of the game here for North Carolina FC. That's why they have the lead they do right now by a score of 1-0. Penn FC, still 6 more home games. You see them right there, and look at the slate of games coming up. You want to see the best of the best coming in here from the USL's Eastern Conference. They're coming up with Louisville City FC, FC Cincinnati, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the Charlotte Independent still right in there in terms of trying to make the playoffs. New York Red Bulls 2 before the end of season collision with Toronto FC 2 to end the year. So a lot of games. You can still get your tickets at www.pennfc.com. We're going to step out for another break, back with the highlights of the first half, as well as maybe take a look around the league as well. That's coming up after this. It's North Carolina FC 1, Penn FC 0. Back after this on ESPN+.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invicta has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invicta is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invicta, providing affordable HD video solutions.
And back here at halftime, Penn FC trailing North Carolina FC 1-0 at the half. And let's take a look at some of the highlights here from this first half. And this is actually the low light here in the first half for Penn FC, but the highlight for North Carolina FC, Rios able to split defenders after a win of the ball at midfield. And the assist coming from Becker in the 11th minute. And that was the opening marker of the game, and the only one so far.
Yeah, unfortunate. And the score sheet gave Penn FC credit for a shot on goal. I don't recall it, to be very honest.
Yeah.
They worked the ball very well. They possessed it well. They're going to have to get shots on goal, make things happen.
We're not overly threatening. Here's our look around the league. Cincinnati on a brace late by Corbin Bone comes back from a 3-2 deficit to Toronto FC 2 and wins 4-3. That despite a hat trick today by Toronto FC's Tsubasa Endo. A couple of games out in the Western Conference. You see them there at 9 o'clock. We're back.
Don't see too many hat tricks, Brian, and especially against a squad like Cincinnati. That's a very good side, as you know, dominant this year in the USL, and hats off, literally and figuratively.
And that game was at Nippert Stadium, so I mean, it was a home game for FC Cincinnati, and well, the home crowd was treated to an exciting match. Emmanuel Ledesma, maybe the front runner for the MVP award in the league. 3 assists in that game. And Penn FC has made a substitution to start this second half, as I see Isaac Osei in the game for Penn FC. We'll have to see who he came in for. So he will replace Dan Metzger here at halftime, and that is directly a striker coming in for a midfielder in that one. See if there are any other substitutions.
Pick up the offensive threats. That's what they're looking to do.
So North Carolina FC will put this back into play. We'll head it up in the air. Becker flicks it forward. So 2 offensive-minded substitutions to start the second half for Penn FC. First one is Osei for Metzger. The ball's going to be played all the way back and bouncing over top of the net for Penn FC. The other one is also an offensive-minded one, as Walter Ramirez, the 34-year-old Honduran, will replace Pedro Gaval. That's left winger type for left back type.
And Gaval had some difficulty in that first half. We noted it, and the substitution comes early. Coach Voss said at the half that he wanted to eliminate sloppy play. Those are his words, and looking to do it through some substitutions.
And already a corner kick won by Penn FC, as that's Aaron Dennis streaking down that left-hand side. So Ramirez will drop into that left back role, but I would expect Penn FC, depending how this game goes, to maybe go 3 in the back quite a bit, with Ramirez thinking offense. Whistle stops play as they were about to start this restart. Our center referee has a couple things to say to the guys on the inside.
And now they will restart the restart.
So here comes Penn FC once again. Fourth corner of the game for Penn FC. This one, Osei just over top of his head, and Becker will clear it for North Carolina FC. Sent back down. Ball touched by Paulo Jr. But unable to keep the possession, and North Carolina FC will give up a throw-in in the offensive third. Get a good look at Richard Menjivar, the game's played leader for this Penn FC squad this year, along with being the assist leader. Thrown in. Not really much to that one.
You're throwing it into the heart of the defense. I mean, you've got 3 defenders surrounding the player that he's trying to throw it to.
Franco will do it again, and now a bike from Casana will go up and over.
If he could have gotten over that just a little bit, he had a lot to shoot at. That was a great play.
So the goal kick coming up for North Carolina FC.
And I should mention, tough to get over it when you're on your back.
Very, very true. Raul Voss has already played 2 of the cards on his bench at this point. It's something we have not seen very often this year is Voss going to the bench at the half, but that's the decision he decides to make here. Here's Ramirez, one of those second half substitutions.
Yeah, very early for Coach Voss, and he clearly wants to make something happen here, and we'll look and see what happens because he's very aggressive.
Ball played to the inside. We're going to have a foul called as Tribbett grabs a hold on the way by.
And this is a repeat of a situation we saw in the closing minutes of the first half, Brian. This is a very, very dangerous spot on the field. They'll set the wall up just inside the touch at the top of the box, but these have danger written all over them.
And that is Donovan Iwalo who is in the game. Handball is the call against Tribbett. Iwalo, a second half substitution as well. 6'3", 22-year-old Cameroonian who has 3 goals in the season, and now it is the ever dangerous Kyle Becker who will stand over this one. 24-year-old Canadian, or 28-year-old Canadian, 3 goals of his own on the season. Has a wall, as you can see, of several blue jerseys, a little door of white to the side.
A lot of defenders there.
Becker will blast it. It hits the wall, flips over the top, and was touched by one of the Penn FC players in the wall, so it will be a corner kick for North Carolina FC. Becker will trot over to that side. 51st minute we've entered into. North Carolina FC has the lead here. See a Walu in there tight. Becker to take this one. The outswinger off his right foot. Ball sent near post. Osei is there to head it clear. Sent right back into the mix. Steinbacher tries to turn on it. Nothing there. Ibakwe cuts down the left side. Will cross low. It deflects back off of him. And over the end line, it should be a... They are going to give a corner. They said it did not touch Ibakwe last. Instead, it was last off of Marco Franco of Penn FC. Here comes Becker once again with another corner kick opportunity, this time from the opposite side. Becker's there with an in-swinger from this side. Ball back post, headed high and just over the top. They want a deflection, they don't get one. But there's an outstanding opportunity that time from Zach Steinberger. You see on that back side here, Charlie, on this play, Steinberger making that middle run and was not marked initially.
Not marked initially and not quick enough. I mean, he's getting that header on it, and unfortunately for him, just put it a little bit over the bar, but the defense has got to be much tighter there.
Beat Ramirez to the spot. Great move by Casana. Sees some opening on the outside. Dennis on the left wing, making that diagonal run. Now cuts it down to the byline. Cut to the inside, cleared by North Carolina FC, and Becker is standing there waiting for it. Long ball played up. Iwalu came in, I believe, for Rios to start the second half. It's going to be called for the foul on this one. And Ken Tribbett is not in the best of health after that one. Considering the situation of the game, I don't think the captain's faking this one. Stepped in right on that left leg as he got twisted down. So they are still going to take a look at him, and he is still down.
He hasn't moved.
53rd minute. And that is a major, major player for Penn FC, both defensively, but also with 6 goals in the season, the best option that they've had this season on set pieces, on corners, up in the box.
They're looking at his shoulder, and he hasn't moved. This is serious stuff.
They will continue to look at him, and if they must go to the bench for him,
their third substitution.
That's their third substitution, and that's the one drawback of having to go to the bench at halftime to try to change things. Is you only have one left, and if somebody gets injured during play, you got none of them left.
Right.
So we see what happens here. And it's 2 guys, 2 physical players going after the ball. Tribbett already a little bit off balance there. Watch as he goes down. Great slow-mo from our folks, our camera crew, and our folks in the truck, and he comes down very hard on that right shoulder. So it looks like he may have popped it out.
Ooh.
Sometimes you can pop that back in, and sometimes you can't, depending what the deal is with the collarbone. So they will take a look at that and determine what they can do. But what that means is Penn FC now, after that foul from Iwalu, is going to be down a man until they either make a substitution and determine what Tribbett's going to be doing, or if he's able to get back in there. And they would want to try to wait as long as they possibly can.
You're right, Brian. It's a tough injury, though. I mean, you're correct. They can pop it back in, but, you know, you're not the same. And it's a difficult situation for Penn FC.
So Penn FC right now playing a man down as Menjivar will step from his defensive mid role to join Venter as the center back. Ball played up. Penn FC cannot maintain possession, and now let's see if North Carolina FC tries to take advantage of the numbers game. Deleuze, now Iwalu, cuts to the inside, gets around Menjivar. Now we'll try to twist it, turn it, shot well over the bar. They are checking out Tribbett, is what we're being told right now from the sideline. And they have not made a decision whether or not they're going to put him back in the game. But Penn FC continues to play a man down here in the 56th minute. Already down 1-0, but now Ramirez will step forward to throw in the offensive half of the field. I'm seeing Haruna Shaibu standing up on the bench. I believe we're going to get that third substitution. I don't think Tribbett's going to be joining us for the rest of this game.
That's a shame. That hurts on a lot of different levels, and, you know, obviously a significant part of this Penn FC side, and you don't want to see anybody injured, and particularly an injury like that. Those are very, very painful.
And considering how tight the schedule is down the stretch, an injury like that, even if it goes for just a week or two, it's multiple games that you're looking for Penn FC that Tribbett could be missing. Dennis wanting a foul, doesn't get the call. Here comes the opportunity the other way for North Carolina FC. Dropped off to Austin Deleuze. There's a central ball, turning on it, dropping it back out here to the outside. Opportunity for Smith, sends it low. Venter will play it up and out to the near side. This should be an opportunity for Penn FC if they can get Shaibu up to the byline. They don't. Tactical error there from Penn FC. And now they should be able to get Shaibu up there and into the game. So this is the whistle that will allow that to happen here in the 57th minute. Haruna Shaibu will check in the game for Penn FC. The 19-year-old Ghanaian, 6'4", will join Venter in the back, his 6th appearance of this 2018 season.
And the lineup pretty well set now, Brian. I mean, this is going to be what they're going to play with for the remainder of the match. And you just hope that Tribbett's okay.
So it's Osei, second half substitution, trying to win the throw, does not do so as it's kept in play. DJ Taylor was able to do so. Now Iwolu, the very physical forward, going against the youngster Shaibu. Throwing coming up for North Carolina FC. Igbekoye, DeLuce. Igbekoye will keep the possession, goes down the left-hand side. Franco steps in his way and wins the ball. Franco trying to get around, does so. Pulls it back to the outside. Now to Menjivar. Goes back to his normal role at defensive midfield. Bad touch there for Kasana, gives it away. Ball drilled towards Menjivar. He can't obviously control that one. Steinbacher, DeLuce crosses. It gets through, but now cleared by Shaibu up to Kasana. Tries to flick it for Dennis, but didn't realize there were defenders on the play. Now here in the 58th minute, ball once again in the possession of North Carolina FC. They have the 1-0 lead on the Daniel Rios goal. Rios subbed out at halftime for the visiting team. Franco finds Miguel Jaime. Venter, now the experienced center back for this Penn FC team. And a poor clear that time by North Carolina FC. Stay up to date with all the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels. Ball crossed by Penn FC, headed to a neutral position there and sent all the way back into the other end. Iwolu trying to wrestle against Shaibu. Pizer up and does a good job, as did great shielding that time by the 19-year-old. So Venter sent it up the field. Ramirez, a low cross, deflected, and it has to be played by Tambakis. Deflection was actually by one of his defenders that time, as it looked like that was actually Walito Fernandez.
And Kasana, Johnny on the spot there, but as you correctly point out, that was a through ball from one of the defenders, not from his own offensive player.
And the keepers just playing past the ball back to each other with just one person in between. And we've got a whistle here as we've got a player a little slow to get up on the back end. This may look like this. It is. Victor Igbekoye is the player who is a little slow to get up for North Carolina FC here in the 60th minute of play. Remind everyone to play Wheel of Fortune, the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery, for your chance at top prizes of $100 grand. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. We have an injury timeout here right now on the pitch.
They're making the most of this injury timeout. He's going to be fine.
Igbekoye will probably be just fine. And for Penn FC, I want to focus on one of their other younger players. It's a very young team in some areas, and one of those, number 15, Miguel Jaime, is one of those guys who has really seen a lot of time in the absence. Injured earlier this season was Mauro Estacquia, the Portuguese national. And with his injury, it's been Miguel Jaime who has stepped up. Miguel Jaime actually is a player for Penn FC who is one of their Colorado Rush Academy signees. So that segue into the USL from the Rush Soccer program reminds us that Penn FC is Rush Soccer's first team making its USL debut this season. Rush Soccer is an international organization dedicated to the development of youth soccer players. It's based in Littleton, Colorado. Rush Soccer is partnered with 85 clubs around the globe, providing a comprehensive club development program to over 32,000 players. Penn FC is proud to sit on top of the Rush Soccer pyramid. We are now back to action after that somewhat lengthy injury situation. I believe they have substituted for Igbekoye. We'll have to see who that was. We're going to have a drop ball situation, and Becker will play it all the way back to Ramu Pizer. So we'll get that substitution for you. It very well could be in the past. They've gone with T. Shipolani sort of interchangeable at that midfield position. He was actually the one player who started the previous game for North Carolina FC, their 3-3 draw against Nashville SC. That happened last Saturday, so this team is rested, and that is an absolutely horrible pass that works out well for Penn FC as they drill it off the chest of Iwolu. The ball is punted up by Pizer. Penn FC will track it down. Ramirez plays it, looking centrally to Dennis. He can't get the back heel to go to somebody. Venter on the ground over here on the near side to Franco. Franco plays it long, trying to get it over to Casana and headed neatly to the sideline. So it'll be T. Cipollani who is the substitute for this squad. He's been in the North Carolina organization for quite some time now, T. Cipollani has, as he has been with this team when they were the Railhawks for 7 years total, if you can include this year. He was a former Harrisburg City Islander, because back in 2009 had 6 goals for this team and was the USL2 Rookie of the Year in that season. So a real veteran of the USL is T. Cipollani.
We're to the 64th minute here, Brian, and I don't know what you're seeing, but I don't see the intensity here in the second half that Penn FC is going to need. They came out, they knew what they had to do, they made substitutions at halftime, they obviously made adjustments in the locker room, but I don't see them performing right now at the level they did at the beginning of the match. I think they just really got to step it up here in the next 10-12 minutes.
I think one of the questions you also have to ask right now, how much is the schedule starting to catch up to them maybe a little bit in this game, because this is game 3 in a span of 8 days. And they have used a lot of the same guys, and some of these guys are playing their 3rd game in those 8 days, which is can be a little bit tiresome on the legs.
But it doesn't get any easier from here, with Louisville City coming in on Wednesday night, Cincinnati here next weekend, and then the Riverhounds here the following Wednesday. So I mean, you've got 3 matches in the space of another week. So I mean, this is crunch time.
And it is Osei who turns, looking for Kasana, and does not get the pass off, and the ball is played and deflected all the way back to Shaibu. On the far side, Ramirez. Ball cleared back up by North Carolina FC, but not controlled. And they're perfectly fine with playing a little pass it back and forth between the two squads, because they already have the 1-0 advantage. Ball played forward. Pizer will pick it up. And for Penn FC, as you said, we are in the 65th minute. And Penn FC desperately needs at least an equalizer in this one. Try to not lose any ground, but also I think both teams very much looking at this game as one of those 6-point games. A win is huge.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. I don't think either side's looking for a draw here. That does nobody any good in many respects. I mean, it keeps
Osei with a chance. He's behind the defense, tries to get down the left side, keeps the possession, crosses, and Tambakis is able to jump up and deflect that one down, as it was deflected by one of his defenders first. Tambakis gets a weakened shot to stay in play. Excellent job that time by Aaron Guillen, who was the last guy over there to help out with Osei, who was very dangerous, getting through 3 defenders and at least getting an opportunity towards the net. Dennis with a turn. He'll have to go the whole way here tonight. Not necessarily a bad thing considering the strength of his leg. Menjivar. And that is an errant pass. He'll be sent the other way. Still, North Carolina FC not interested in possessing right now. Right now what they're doing is making sure that Penn FC does not score and blasting the ball back into the other end. Penn FC pretty much going 3 in the back at this point. No presence in the attacking mid position there. Here comes an opportunity. Ball played forward by Steinberger, looking for Iwolu. That pass was off the mark. Get it inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Glad you could join us this evening Eastern Conference matchup here in the USL between a couple of teams tied just outside the playoff dance. Casana looking to play it forward for Paulo Jr. Knocked out of play by North Carolina FC. Casana flicks it backwards. Osei is cut off. Well done that time by Fernandez. Offside is the whistle, as Paulo Jr. was in that offside position as that ball was played forward.
A little mental error there. I mean, they're playing the ball to the middle. You know where the attack's going to go. These little short runs, got to be onside.
Tombakis will stroll on up to that ball. No hurry whatsoever for the Greek national.
Taking his time and chewing up valuable clock.
The only goalkeeper that this team has used this season between the pipes in the starting role. Ball played high in the air. Chested down. Over here to the near side is Deleuze. This is the ball to Paulo Jr. Here comes Penn FC on the attack. Ball played up. Osei is offside. I thought he was. They were going to wait until he actually attempted to play the ball before bringing up the flag, but Isaac Osei just offside on Walter Ramirez's pass forward.
That's the preferred method of the call now, rather than make it right away. Wait until the person offside is actually in the play, but it breaks your offense up pretty badly when you get offsides.
We'll be back here on Wednesday evening, a 6:30 start time for us, as it is Louisville City FC who will be the opponent for Penn FC. That matchup earlier this season was an absolutely scintillating 3-3 draw at Louisville. A game where Penn FC was down 3-1 on the road, came all the way back, and probably was unfortunate not to get the victory in that game because of how hard they pressed at the end of that contest.
One of their better nights this year, and you and I think both watched it, Brian, on television. It was a great match for Penn FC, and you know, again, showed what they're made of when they can fight back from deficits. That's what they need to do here tonight. And as I say, I just don't right now see the intensity that they need to have. There's got to be a sense of urgency. This is, you know, a vital match, and you go down here tonight and don't take a W out of this, you're at a real disadvantage.
Shaibu looking for the head of Osei, who has been much more of a factor in the aerial game since coming on at halftime. But Tombakis will have no problem with that one and pick it up once he gets pressure just a little bit here in the 70th minute. So we're approaching about 20 minutes plus stoppage time, although we probably should have quite a bit of stoppage time in this one. We've had two significant stoppages for injury here in this second half.
Yeah, I agree. I think you probably got at least 5 minutes at this point because you've had two significant injuries. But we thought there was going to be stoppage at the first half, and they blew the whistle, and that was that. So we shall see.
Play it up to the middle. Nice flick there.
There's a nice ball.
Casana looking for an on-rushing Paulo Jr., but well played by DJ Taylor, who has been solid over on this left back position. Paulo Jr. looking for the ball. It's a nice smile because of the hustle of our young ball boy over on this side. Now throws in. Osei in the box. Trying to turn, goes back to Jr. Down on the corner. Drops it back. Franco will chip it. Back post look. Too strong. Penn FC will get there first, though. Played back out. Ramirez to his left foot. This one's crossed in the middle. Osei! And they're going to say he was offside again. Either that or a foul. I didn't know that he was offside, but maybe a push-off.
I think they may have gotten him for a foul there.
To be honest with you, I didn't see much of either, but regardless, he wasn't going to be able to get that one anyways. So it is North Carolina FC with the restart after that one. Position the ball makes me think it was an offside.
Yeah, and we didn't see the flag because we're blocked from the view of the official over on this near touchline, but the clock becoming a factor here, Brian, no question about that.
Ball played again. Osei in the middle of the field. Bodies falling down in the middle. Fernandez down for North Carolina FC now in the middle of the field. Looks like he's cramping up a little bit. And the ball's going to be played up near midfield. Ramirez step back to it. And they have whistled play to a stop as Penn FC politely plays the ball over the far sideline as they will check on Wilito Fernandez. The 28-year-old defender out of Cape Verde, making his 3rd start of the year, forced into action tonight after a training an injury in warm-ups to Connor Tobin.
You know, they pull those toes forward, Brian, when you cramp, and it works for about 20 seconds, at least in my experience. The first time you exert or jump, the cramp is right back. I don't know what your situation has been, but that certainly was the way it was when I was playing. I'd cramp and they'd pull those toes up. Oh, I'm fine. And then just a second later. So you got to wonder whether he's going to be able to continue.
I always try not to exert myself enough to even bother cramping. So it's been my experience thus far. Ramu Pizer will send everybody up. And Fernandez is back out there right now. He has resumed his center back roles next to Aaron Guillen. Here comes Penn FC. Shaibu will chip it long. Goes over the head of Paulo Jr. and played back out. Here's Steinberger. Nice work by Penn FC dispossessing him of the ball. Menjivar.
Nicely done.
Over to Ramirez. A lot of room over there on the left wing. Can he get a cross in? He can. Lucky going towards it. Guillen tracked him the entire way, and he did well to force that ball out of play. So it'll be a throw-in coming up for Penn FC. Good work that time from Aaron Guillen on the backside. Quickly into the box. Osei falls down. Not going to get that call. Osei continues to stay in the action. Here's a chance for Penn FC. On that side, cutting to the inside. Right foot into the box they go, and over the end line for a goal kick. Not quite keep that one in play. It was Aaron Dennis making that run on that side. It's a little too strong with the last touch. How well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every week. And you could win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice. Still so many big games left to go this season, and so many games with playoff implications all over the place, all around the USL. Throw-in coming up for Penn FC. They continue to dominate the possession of this game, the accuracy of passes in this game, but not the scoreboard, which right now is heavily dominated by North Carolina FC because they have the lead. 1-0. 11th minute goal by Daniel Rios, his 17th of the season. Here's Paulo Jr. Now looking over to Aaron Dennis, trying to get into that right foot. Shot, and it is deflected.
Nice block by that defender, and Paulo Jr. knew exactly what he wanted to do, did it, but unfortunately no way to finish.
Shaibu drops it over to Venter. Now over to Pizer. Back on the attack. Trying to build it is Penn FC. Marco Franco. Long diagonal ball. Again, looking for the head of Osei. And the header will not get to Ramirez, but will be cleared up the field by North Carolina FC. Venter again. Trying to set something up. Jaime. Now to Venter. Crowd a little restless here at FNB Field, knowing how important this game is. Here's Venter. And over to Menjivar. Franco overlapping on this right-hand side. Plays it centrally. Paulo Jr. turns, fires, rising shot with the left foot. Too much.
Got behind that just a little bit. He gets out over that ball. He had some goal to shoot at.
He scored 3 in the last 4, has Paulo Jr. So maybe as good an option as any as he makes that run to the inside. That turn was a little bit of space, just not enough accuracy on the shot. So we're in the 77th minute of action. North Carolina FC, a 1-0 lead over Penn FC. At stake right now in the standings, both these teams sit with 35 points overall. 41 is the final playoff spot right now. So a victory by either team would move them up to 38 and just one win out of a playoff spot. Becker dispossessed the ball and knocked off him last. Well done that time by Paulo Jr.
3 points tonight loom very large, Mr. Kaiser. We said it throughout the match, but it bears repeating and repeating again, because we're down to that point in the season where 3 points is going to make a lot of difference.
Menjivar plays it to Venter. A lot of room over here for Ramirez on the left. Dennis fell down up in front. I think Ramirez was looking for him, and when Dennis fell down, had to change his mind, and Franco can't control a hard pass from Shaibu. Here's Becker. Decides to slow things back down when nothing was presenting itself numbers-wise. Clock continues to tick here in this matchup. For North Carolina FC, upcoming schedule for them, they are at Atlanta United 2, playing better soccer right now. Then they're at Charleston. Then they host the Richmond Kickers, host the New York Red Bulls 2 before going on the road to end the season at Louisville City and at Charlotte. So a manageable situation for this team, as well as you look at the firepower that they have. You have to like the way they're playing, especially if they can get a win here on the road. This is a team that really can propel themselves very much into the conversation for one of those playoff spots. Osei. Jessup passed. Kasana tries to play it through to him. Osei can't get there, and an offside is the call against Penn FC. I'm not quite sure where that one was, because Osei definitely was not offside when Kasana played it, but regardless, that is the call from our linesman on this near side. So it was 79th minute action here. Penn FC and North Carolina FC. A lot of eyes on this game and the result tonight from around the Eastern Conference of the USL. Ball headed up. Well done by Shaibu to get there before Steinberger did. Ball played long. Here's Osei with a long run. Guillen gets there. Check that. It's not Guillen, actually. That's Fernandez who gets there first. Considering he came in as a last-minute substitute in the middle of the pitch, he has combined well with Guillen, as a foul is going to be called out there on the outside on T. Shipolani. So a restart opportunity. Here's Menjivar. They will move some of the bigger guys up. Shaibu at 6'4". Venter at 6'2". Two center backs now up into the box. Menjivar to take this one. Twisting. Back post. Tambakis.
I think he had the right idea there, Brian. I really do. I mean, they challenged him with size. Keeper made a good save, but well-delivered ball and a lot of good runners coming in.
Tambakis has great size himself at 6'3", and the extension of the arms able to get there before Shaibu. Venter wins the header on the other side of the field and then is barreled into, so the foul called against North Carolina FC's Donovan Iwolu.
Through 80 here at FNB Field, Brian, and we've mentioned it a couple of times, the clock becoming a larger and larger factor in this match.
You have to figure right now in the Penn FC players, it is ticking extremely loudly in the back of their minds.
It better be.
Will we see a finish here that is worthy of a fantastic finish moniker? It is Dennis who switched over to this near side now to help out a little bit. Ball played centrally and will be played high in the air but out by North Carolina FC. The only team that has any substitutes left is North Carolina FC. Here's Jaime trying to drop it off. Into the box it goes, and Dennis clips his man going by. I believe he knocked down Deleuze. Check that, maybe it was Smith on the way by. So it'll be a foul called against Aaron Dennis of Penn FC. One substitute remaining for Colin Clark on his bench. And for Penn FC, Raul Voss, 34-year-old first-year head coach. After the injury to Ken Tribbett, about 15 minutes here in the second half, his substitution pattern had been decided for the day. He'd already made all three after that. Ball played. Paulo Jr. can't get high enough, but Ramirez gets there. Ball sent back to the neutral third. In the center circle, Deleuze. Over here to Becker. Working against Franco. Into the inside is Steinberger. Smith plays over to Cipollani. Becker. Cipollani can't get to that one. They'll track back and win the possession again. And all of a sudden, North Carolina FC a little bit better job possession-wise. Owolu is deemed to be onside. Comes down that far side. Ramirez gets there, wins the possession on the sideline, on the end line, and is able to keep it in play, but plays it centrally. Shaibu has done well since replacing Tribbett. He's able to play that one back up to the neutral third. Ball deflected. Shaibu gets there first, read that play very well, and will play it over the sideline for a throw-in for North Carolina FC. Late in this 83rd minute of play, Penn FC down 1-0.
And not at this point mounting any sort of a consistent attack, Brian. That's the problem. I mean, we talked about a sense of urgency. They really have not had the opportunities here in the second half that they did in the first and haven't really created the scoring situations.
Steve Miller's throw-in is met by a foul by North Carolina FC. So here comes Penn FC trying to get ahead of steam going the other way. Aaron Dennis with a little bit of space over here on the right side. Has Franco overlapping, instead pulls it back to the middle. Menjivar chips out to the outside. Franco is there, chests it down, crosses all the way to the other side. Paulo Jr. Left side of the box, he enters it with the right foot, plays it centrally. Menjivar's around, looking for someone with space. Nobody able to pull the trigger as Dennis was not in a good position.
Yeah, right across the mouth of the goal, and nobody there.
Shaibu will get called for the foul, and actually for the 19-year-old, that's actually not a bad foul that they're going to mind. The referee will, though. He'll get a yellow for that.
Yeah.
Professional foul there in the 84th minute. And I'll be honest with you, from a coaching perspective, when one of your younger players with a lot less experience takes a foul like that that disrupts a potential dangerous counterattack, you like the fact that he's learned that aspect of the game.
You're happy about that.
We're going to see this once again, and Shaibu challenging for that one. I don't know that it was an intended professional foul, but Donovan Owolu went down as a result of it. It was a definite foul there, and North Carolina FC will have the restart. Is there some magic here for this Penn FC team as we approach the last 5.5 minutes of regulation time? The ball is chipped wildly to virtually nobody, and Penn FC will quickly drill it back the other side. Ball headed and controlled once again by North Carolina FC. Just send it into the Penn FC end. All this waste time and forces Penn FC to build the attack the other way. Venter, skidding ball, goes past Ramirez for a throw for the visiting team.
Just nothing consistent right now, Brian. No movement in the midfield that works. Not doing much up front, and the clock continues to run.
It's going to be difficult for this Penn FC team as we're going to have a corner kick won by North Carolina FC. If they look back at the season and don't make the playoffs, they have played well against the teams that are in the playoff grouping, and maybe that bodes well for their next 3 games specifically because of who they're going to be playing. But against the teams that are not currently in that playoff hunt, above the red line, as we like to say, they have not performed well or consistently enough against that grouping.
You notice North Carolina sprinting to take this corner opportunity.
Yes, I don't think so. As they take their good old time, as they should at this point. They lead on the road 1-0 and are protecting that lead very well. They have been able to do that since the 11th minute of play when Daniel Rios on a counterattack was able to score. Ball sent into the box. It's deflected, and a goal kick, as they're going to see Owolu was the last one to touch it, but that was a lot more dangerous than it should have been with only 2 players in the box attacking.
And chewed up another full minute of clock, and that's one of the difficulties for Penn FC right now, giving it up in the midfield.
Menjivar gets it back. 87th minute of play is what we're in right now. Franco playing to Dennis. His first touch betrays him. And it allows North Carolina FC to work the ball back into their offensive half. Shaibu, a little too much that time, and Owolu, exactly what he was brought into this game to do. Be a physical presence and hold up play as a forward. So Becker, the veteran midfielder, will stand over this one, along with the guy wearing the captain's armband, Austin DeLuz. He's from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Ball played into the box. Pizer is there, and will want to move this along quickly. On up the field. Osei has been the target for just about everything here in the second half, and we have an offside called. Osei once again in an offside position when they begin that.
These are mental mistakes. I don't know if there's any other way to put it, Brian. I mean, you know exactly what the situation is. You've got to get back on side. The defenders are obviously pulling up. You've got to go with them. It's as simple as that.
As Pizer is punting that ball, it's just a momentary lapse of concentration there.
Well, Coach Voss said at halftime, focus. They weren't focused, and I just see too much of that here in the second half. A lack of intensity, a lack of focus, and that costs you matches, and this is a vital one.
2 minutes plus stoppage time left for Penn FC. Here's Kasana with a run down the left flank. Drops it off to Paulo Jr. Dispossessed the ball. They're going to say last touch by Paulo Jr. as it was played off of him.
I'm surprised that's all the stoppage they're giving him.
So the throw-in coming up. Turn by Steinbacher. He gets around his man. Now an opportunity. Owolu was definitely offside that time and is whistled for it. So both teams, we've seen a lot of flags for offside against both sides in this game. And now Penn FC will try to push up once again and build the attack from the back with Shaibu. Shaibu chips it forward. Dennis flicks it towards Osei. Tries to back heel it, looking for an on-rush in Kasana, but there was defenders in the way. Opportunity now for North Carolina FC. Owolu, as we are now in the last minute of regulation time. We still are expecting numerous minutes of stoppage time, maybe around 5 or so is what we were guessing because of a couple of injury stoppages here in the second half. We will see what they come up with. Ramirez. Venter. Up to Franco. Penn FC pushes into the offensive half with Dennis. Aaron Dennis brings it over to the right side. Now we'll pull it back. Spins around, gets around his man. Playing in, goes down, and a foul is called. Great drawing of a foul from Aaron Dennis. I don't know how much contact was there, but the acting job was good enough.
And he's going to call it just outside the box.
That was definitely outside the box, but we will enter stoppage time now. And there is no indication yet from our referee, but it's coming. It's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time for Penn FC at the end of this second half. So Menjivar with the right, Ramirez with the left. If it's Ramirez, it's going to be a shot. If it's Menjivar, they're going to chip it and try to score off the header. See which one it's going to be. A three-man wall set up by North Carolina FC. One of the last good chances Penn FC is going to have to equalize. Whistle is blown. Menjivar steps over. Ramirez fires. Knuckles shot in, and Tambaki's got just enough of a look at it to deflect it wide.
Great save there. Perfectly played, and you've just got to give the keeper a lot of credit. Well played.
The veteran comes through in a big time here. And now a corner from the opposite side. Sent into the box. Headed clear. Penn FC will track down. Franco. Plays it back, sent right back into the mix. Kasana is whistled offside as he was past the defenders.
On those corners, though, you've noticed throughout the match that the North Carolina side has won almost all those head balls.
Yeah, they have done very well in the box aerially. Maybe part of that also, especially now, not having Ken Tribbett definitely affects this team for Penn FC in the air. So we are over a minute and a half into the stoppage time. Tambakis will send the ball all the way in the Penn FC end. Venter heads it up. Foul called. Venter will be asked to get back up quickly if he can, and a yellow card called and shown to Donovan Iwolu. So they're checking him out, and this is a head injury situation, so the referee wants to make sure he's fine. We look for the safety end of things, and Venter immediately responds by running up the other end of the field to see if he can get his head on the ball there. Pizer chips it forward. Osei can't get the initial one, and we've got a foul called on Isaac Osei. It's a little bit of inexperience there, as that was not necessary. We are over 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes into stoppage time right now. And again, North Carolina FC not in any hurry to get restarted here. They have the advantage, and a victory for them here will move them within one win of the final playoff spot. Ball from Tambakis into the Penn FC end. Is there one more rush left in the Penn FC attack?
Not if you give it up in the midfield.
And they do once again. Here's Becker. Plays it down the side. Ramirez is there, keeps it in play. Shaibu trying to push forward. They lose it again. Ball played up. Headed around a few times. We're into the final minute of stoppage time. North Carolina FC trying to hold on to this 1-0 advantage. Ramu Pizer, one more chance for Penn FC as he's going to put the ball down and send everybody forward.
And this is it.
So one final rush here for the home team. Can they rescue a point? Headed back, cleared, and North Carolina FC is the first one to the ball. Shaibu steps in, but nobody coming back for it. Ball played far sideline, chance for the throw in for Penn FC. They have just enough time, maybe, as they'll send it back to Pizer so he can send it long. One last chance for Penn FC. Ball played up in the air. Headed high. Franco comes in. Cleared by North Carolina FC, and that's the final whistle. North Carolina FC comes in here to Harrisburg and knocks off Penn FC in a huge game with playoff implications. A Daniel Rios goal in the 11th minute stands up, and North Carolina FC wins 1-0 over Penn FC. And a game that, Charlie, you look at this one, and even though North Carolina FC, it wasn't their best performance of the season by any stretch, they got the job done. They did what they needed to do on the road here. They get the early goal, and they protect it the rest of the way.
You get the W, and you walk off the field very, very happy. And for the Penn FC side, this has to be frustration on top of frustration. The early goal should not have been allowed. Came as the result of a mistake, a breakdown in the midfield. Coach Voss himself called it sloppy play, and it was. Resulting goal, quick score, but then they can never mount a consistent attack and get the shots on goal necessary to make it a competitive match. I mean, they just did not play that second half well.
And for North Carolina FC, you look at how many games they've played now in the season. They've played a total of 28 with this contest. And with that, the teams that are ahead of them right now, that are just barely ahead of them in the table, New York Red Bulls with 29 points sitting in that 8th spot. They've played 29 already. And Bethlehem Steel and Ottawa Fury, both with 30 games, and they sit at 41 and 42. So this North Carolina FC team in a good place right now to try to make a run at that final playoff spot. On the other hand, Penn FC, this is one that's going to sting, because now they have to make hay in the next 3 matches against 3 of the top teams in the league. Louisville City FC, FC Cincinnati, and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and that's not going to be easy.
Not going to be easy, Brian. We're going to find out exactly what this Penn FC side is made of. You alluded earlier to the fact that they've been challenged because of the fact that their schedule has required them to be playing games on top of each other. That takes a toll. Now they're going to play 3 games in a week that are all against really, really tough sides. But, you know, champions rise to the top, and, you know, Penn FC still has a fighting chance here. Tonight hurt, but tomorrow's another day.
We're going to step out for a break. We'll have a final wrap for you when we come back. North Carolina FC defeats Penn FC 1-0. Back after this on ESPN+.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
And welcome back to FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux, and those are our final game statistics. And when you look at them, you take off the top line of goals, what you're seeing is a game that by shots, by saves, by corner kicks, you're looking at and thinking to yourself, well, maybe Penn FC had a little bit of the better. Then you look at possession, say Penn FC definitely had the better of this. And then you look at the goals. It's the only one that matters in the line that counts, and that's your record.
The only one to give you 3 points for it, Brian, but the possession game did work, especially in the first half for Penn FC, but they never could mount a really consistent attack where they were getting good shots on goal. They possessed the ball well, a couple of little breakdowns in the midfield, one of them resulting in a goal, but largely they played the game they wanted to play, but it just didn't produce the right result for them.
Could not find an opening, and the opening that was found in this game was right here, as dispossessing the ball, Victor Igbekoye finds Daniel Rios, gets through the two center backs and is able to score, and that would be his 17th goal of the season, now second on his own in the USL standings for the year, two behind Cameron Lancaster of Louisville City, and it's a goal scorer's finish right there. Our next home match is going to be this Wednesday. We'll be right back out here at FNB Field, 6:30, as Louisville City FC comes to town. Tickets, pennfc.com is your website. You have the phone number right there as well. Or you could actually just tune back in here to ESPN Plus, because we'll be right back here for that one as well. It's a better atmosphere coming out to the field and to cheer on the team, but at the same time, we will be here, and it's going to be a huge matchup there, Charlie, for Penn FC, a necessary game to get something.
Yeah, I mean, we said tonight was a must-win situation. Every one of them is now, Brian. I mean, they've really dug themselves a hole with this loss tonight. It's not one that can't be filled up, but there's no room for error at this point. They're going to have to take on the league's best and beat them.
Well, that'll do it from here. North Carolina FC improves on the season to 10-10-8. Penn FC drops to 9-11-8. North Carolina FC now with the 10th place by themselves, as they have 38 points overall. Penn FC still in 11th now, but in a tie with the Charlotte Independents as far as the number of points at 35. For everyone involved tonight, and my colleague Charlie Giroux, this is Brian Kaiser saying good evening from FNB Field. North Carolina FC, a 1-0 winner tonight over Penn FC here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.